The DeForest police chief is refusing to quit and take a six-figure severance package after a viral video showed him making racist comments more than a decade ago.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 This Morning. Very cheesy Wednesday.
Best day ever.
First. Yes.
They won't let me sit next to the cheese.
No, I specifically moved in front of Hattie because I trust Hattie because Leah's been going nuts.
This is the best day.
So anyway,
you should smell
yeah,
this.
it's going to be
This
a
smells
world.
amazing.
There's a world record. The reason we have a cheese board here, they're looking for the world's largest cheese board at the concerts on the square tonight from 5 to 7. Their cheese board features nearly 2 tons of cheese donated by 50 Wisconsin cheese companies.
200 different folks hanging out to do this. 200, what is it? 200,
Cheese board's 200 square feet long.
200 square feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
35 feet
cheese.
long.
First 2,000 people who come are going to get their own cheese plate to take home.
That's going to be me.
Leah's going to stay up till 5 o'clock to get some cheese.
After I
She's
eat
going to be a
some of
little tired tomorrow.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, this smells amazing.
I know, it's a good smell.
So you want to head downtown to take part in that later today. Our forecast actually looks pretty darn nice. We have temperatures this morning in the 50s and 60s. A live look from the WISC-TV Skycam catching the sun as it comes up this morning. Here's a look at our current conditions. 61 degrees here in Madison, calm winds. Sunrise officially occurred at 5:48. Dew point is 59 degrees this morning. You may notice a little bit of humidity today, but it'll stay relatively low for this time of the year. Temperatures will climb quickly, though. We're looking at highs in the low 80s this afternoon. Here's a look at your traffic forecast for today. We have pretty quiet conditions so far on the roads and around the area. A few brake lights again on the Beltline at Stoughton Road, but that's about it right now. If you are headed into Madison, you're still going at posted speeds, and that's your first alert traffic.
Rain or shine, any type of weather is cheese-eating weather.
Yeah, so I'm going back to the weather office, guys.
No.
We'll be done and get to a commercial here in about 10 minutes. Come join you.
I'll try and save some for you.
Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
We start this morning by continuing to learn more about the investigation into DeForest police chief after a video of him saying racist comments was posted on YouTube 11 years after it was taped. State Journal reports this morning DeForest Police Chief Daniel Furseth will not be taking a severance package from the village board. He wants to stay in his job. Now that an independent investigation into his conduct and character is over, that investigation concluded other than the video, there was nothing to indicate Chief Furseth was a racist. The city had offered him 6 months' pay and sick leave, a package worth about $120,000 to go away, to resign. Furseth, though, has worked for the village for 29 years. He's been on paid leave since May. Next week, the village board is going to decide whether to file an official complaint against him with the police commission. That could lead to him losing his job as punishment.
This morning will mark day 3 in the trial of a Middleton man accused of murdering his elderly landlord. 54-year-old John Hammond is accused of killing 82-year-old Agnes Bram by hitting her over the head back in April of 2017. Yesterday, one of Dane County's medical examiners took the stand to testify, saying Bram was likely killed a day or two before her body was found and that it was likely moved after the attack. Hammond is facing a charge of first-degree intentional homicide. That trial should take all week.
Wisconsinites can now track sex crimes by county in a new database set up by the Department of Justice. People can see the number and rate of offenses where they live, whether weapons were used, the demographics of both victims and offenders, as well as whether they knew one another or how they knew each other. That data includes sex crimes from the years 2013 to 2017. Attorney General Brad Schimel says this database should improve transparency in the criminal justice system. The Wisconsin State Patrol is launching a new statewide TV commercial today designed to cut down on distracted driving. That commercial was made by some Wisconsin middle school students and shows a mom distracted by her kids calling her from home, as well as other kids who are in her car. In Dane County alone, there have been more than 10,000 distracted driving crashes over the last 5 years. 19 people have died, more than 3,600 others have been hurt. State data shows distracted driving crashes among teenagers go up by 18% over the summer months.
State Patrol officers also going to be up in the air this week along the interstate between Dane and Rock counties. The goal there is to get people to slow down in that construction zone along I-3990, where we've seen almost daily accidents this summer. A reminder, it is illegal in Wisconsin to talk on a cell phone in a work zone. We've got a list of the fines you can get. That's up on our website, channel3000.com.
So we have a first traffic heads up for you this morning as the CrossFit Games are starting today in Madison. Traffic on the Beltline by John Nolan Drive and Rimrock Road is expected to be bad while the games go on through Sunday. Those two streets near the Alliant Energy Center are expected to have some delays as well. There will be Dane County Sheriff's deputies in the area helping direct traffic. So the 70,000 people who went to the CrossFit Games last year spent $12 million here in our economy. It's a big economic impact.
That's crazy. This is the second year Madison is hosting the event after 7 years in Los Angeles. Today, the games kick off. Josh Spreiter's live this morning with what we can expect. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, guys. We've made our way outside. We're actually by the obstacle course. We're going to talk a little bit about that here with the host of the games. We've got Rory McKernan here, and we've also got Jamie Patrick with the Madison Area Sports Commission. So a lot of excitement here. Rory, we're going to start with you. Talk a little bit about what we have behind us. We've moved outside now.
That's right. Yeah. Well, this didn't exist just a few days ago. Rogue Fitness is our equipment sponsor, and they have put up a massive obstacle course, as you can see. I promised diversity when we were inside, right? It's the last time that you saw us. We were inside next to some rowers. This obstacle course will be featured in an individual event. And another cool thing about the games for people who don't know, we have our youngest athlete is 14 years old. Our oldest athlete, 63 years old. So we really span the gap, and they will all take on this obstacle course, all age groups. So that'll be fun to watch as well. There's nothing more inspirational. The individuals are cool, but to see a 63-year-old woman take on an obstacles like this and do it better than you or I could do it is makes you want to get out and get in the gym.
It certainly does. And Jamie, talk a little bit about what this means for Madison, because obviously, we've had this for a couple years now, and just talk about kind of the importance of having an event like this.
Yeah, year two is just amazing. It's $12 million in economic impact to the Madison area. It's 20,000 people coming a day, and it just really integrates into our community, our active lifestyle. It just fits so cohesively with what we do. It's one of those can't miss events for the summer.
And we've actually kind of signed this on for the next few years, so I think a lot of people are excited about that.
Yeah, we're super thrilled. It's through 2021 now, so if you don't get out there this year, you have a few more opportunities to get out, but don't miss it, because you never know which country is going to come up and rise, whether it's Iceland or Australia or any of the other 32 countries here. You're always going to meet somebody new, so you want to make sure you're out here supporting it every year.
All right, very good. Jamie and Rory, thank you so much. Again, coming up a little bit later, we'll talk more about the importance of this event and a little bit more about what you can expect this year. Of course, all of this is on channel3000.com. Guys.
Such a neat event. All right, our Josh Spreiter reporting live this morning. Thanks, Josh. And if you're interested in catching some of the action from this year's CrossFit Games but can't make it down to the Alliant Energy Center this weekend, you will be able to see some of the events right here on News 3. CBS will have an hour of live coverage on Saturday at noon and Sunday morning at 11. They'll also be re-airing a taped version of the whole event next month on September 2nd. You can find more coverage on cable over on the CBS Sports Network. That starts at 9 p.m. this week.
7 minutes after 6 on this Wednesday morning. I have to apologize to my kids. Cover your ears if you're listening this morning. And if you are listening this morning, I'm going to apologize to my wife that you're up already. Either way, we are talking next about the start of school and how parents can save some money on back-to-school items today.
Important stuff there. And Hattie says we've got a repeat forecast going on this week. I'm going to call it a kayak forecast. Look at that sunrise. Time to hit the water and enjoy that. We do have a change-up on the way, though. Let's check in with her first alert forecast. That's coming up when News 3 This Morning returns.
This portion
morning. I'm meteorologist Hattie McLean. From the Hattie-O Patio this morning, we have pretty comfortable conditions early today. Temperatures are right around 60. A warm day yesterday with highs in the low 80s in most parts. However, look to the north and west. La Crosse and Black River Falls had highs in the upper 80s yesterday, so a little bit warmer through central Wisconsin. Now, as far as rain yesterday, there were some isolated showers and thunderstorms popping up during the afternoon hours. Most of the activity, though, confined to the southwestern corner of the state. Many areas stayed dry yesterday. Doppler track is pretty quiet this morning around here, but I'm watching some showers and isolated thunderstorms pushing into northwestern Wisconsin right now. It's raining in the Twin Cities metro area for the morning commute. This activity will continue to sink southward through the day. It's a pretty slow-moving system, though, so I actually don't have any rain in our forecast until later this evening. As far as severe weather is concerned, there's a marginal risk for severe weather, but with the storms moving in the evening as the sun gets lower in the sky and sets, we lose some of that energy. So again, just a slight, very small risk for severe weather today. Here's a look at your forecast for the CrossFit Games taking place downtown Madison at the Alliant Energy Center. We are looking at pretty warm conditions today. Temperatures will heat up quickly this morning, back to 77 by 10 o'clock, 80 at 2. Slight chance for rain this afternoon, but again, better chances as we head into the evening hours. A live look from the Edgewater Skycam at downtown Madison this morning. Again, clear skies in the area today. We have been dealing with a little bit of River Valley fog through the Wisconsin River Valley. Visibility is down to about 1/4 of a mile this morning. It is just 1/8 of a mile in Camp Douglas. But that fog is not a widespread issue. Temperatures right around 60 here in Madison. A little bit cooler in Janesville this morning with 55, 59 in the Dells. Dew points are going to creep into the low 60s again through the day today. So humidity will stay relatively low, but you may notice it a little bit. Here's our future track forecast. If you're timing out those rain chances, dry weather through the morning into the afternoon. Now, there will be a lake breeze developing to our east. That may generate a few showers or isolated thunderstorms this afternoon, but again, better chances this evening as that front tracks into the area. Watch how the rain weakens, though, as it moves into south central Wisconsin. So this is definitely not a guarantee for wet weather later today. Rain amounts are expected to be on the light side once again. Here's a look at your extended forecast. We have temperatures that will cool down behind that front tomorrow, highs in the low 70s. Quickly back into the 80s, though, on Friday, and then really heating up around here for the weekend. It's been a couple of weeks since we've had the hot and humid weather around, but it returns on Saturday. Now let's get a look at your First Alert traffic update this morning with Josh Tim. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, it's a quiet start so far on the Beltline. No major delays showing up quite yet in either direction, although that westbound side definitely continuing to get crowded. I would expect some delays here within the next half hour or so. Checking out Dane County, there are brake lights popping up on northbound Verona Road and Stoughton Road near the Beltline ramps. No problems at all downtown yet around the Capitol Square and UW campus. Volume is not a factor quite yet. And other main routes heading into the city, they're cruising along at the usual speeds with no major crashes or delays. Your First Alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Hattie. 6:14 your time now. There is a new plan in place over at the Madison School District this morning to help more students of color succeed. This week, the district shared its progress on graduation rates, elementary reading, and a higher average GPA. Now it's working with a new strategy to help see more black students do better in school.
All of our faiths are linked. We believe in the brilliance, creativity, capability of black youth in Madison. It is our responsibility to make sure that that excellence can shine.
Superintendent Jennifer Cheatham says the district doesn't have all the solutions on its own. She wants to partner with black families and community members to come up with ways to break down any barriers standing in the way of letting these kids succeed.
They're talking about school safety at a summit this afternoon that features a number of Wisconsin high school students. This comes after numerous rallies throughout the state were organized by Teenagers for Gun Safety after the recent shooting in Parkland, Florida. Among the speakers at the Wisconsin Public Education Network Summit include students and recent graduates from Milwaukee and Appleton High Schools.
The Schreger kids do not want to hear it, but today's the day Adam and Mom might want to start thinking about the start of the school year. That's because it's the start of a 5-day sales tax holiday here in Wisconsin, where you can buy a lot of your school clothes and supplies sales tax free. A reminder, any piece of clothing or back-to-school item has to be less than $75 each, and computers have to be less than $750 each. That tax holiday runs through Sunday. Now, there are a couple of things you should keep in mind while you're checking out the sales over the next couple of days.
So the people who run consumer protection here in Wisconsin say bring those tips with you along with your shopping list to make sure you're actually treated legally during the sales tax holiday. Christina Laurie's in the news center this morning with their advice. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Adam and Leah. Double check those sale prices and save your receipts. Those are just 2 tips from DATCAP as shoppers get ready to shop during the state's end of summer tax holiday. Whether you're shopping online or in store, they say you should keep an eye out for the fine print to make sure the products you're adding to your cart meet any requirements. DATCAP says you should look over those sales ads for any restrictions on quantities, sale hours, or returns. Also be sure to check store policies on price matching. Another piece of advice, write down prices and information about sales while you shop, or better yet, just type them in the notes section of your phone. That way you'll have a better sense of how much your final total will be before you get to the checkout. DATCAP says most pricing errors happen on sale items, but as long as you have your receipt, Wisconsin state law requires that stores refund you for any overcharges on their part.
That's good advice.
It is indeed.
That's why I have my reading glasses out. You always got to look at the fine print.
Smart man.
All right, thank you, Christina. Appreciate it.
All right, 6:17 your time now. I've already had a little taste of it over here, so I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be tired tomorrow morning because I am going to stay up late and check out a new world record that's going to be tried out at the Concerts on the Square tonight. They're trying for the world's largest cheese board. We're going to check out exactly how much cheese it's going to take to make it in the Guinness Book of World Records, how much of it I can eat. I'll let you know when we come back.
And you might want to bring your umbrella to get your cheddar and Gouda fix on the square tonight. Hattie's updating your first alert forecast. Beautiful sunrise so far this morning. When News 3 this morning comes right back.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Hattie McLean. Our forecast today starts with sunshine, and you can see that pretty clearly in the Queen Bee Radio Skycam shot this morning. Beautiful sunrise early today. Here's a look at the radar map, though. There are some showers and storms to our north and west that are moving through the far northwestern corner of the state, also through Minneapolis and St. Paul right now. No severe weather at this time, and the severe risk is relatively low today, just a marginal risk for severe weather across most of Wisconsin. Here's your probability of precipitation, and again, best time frame for rain here in southern Wisconsin is later on this evening. So this slow-moving system will take its time moving into our area. Ahead of the rain, it's going to be a quick warm-up this morning. Temperatures will climb into the upper 70s by lunchtime, topping in the low 80s today. Have a wonderful day.
All right, thanks, Hattie. There are a few hours left still to buy tickets to a local food festival and support people affected by the Sun Prairie explosion all at the same time. The Madison Mallards and Bree Stevens Field are holding a special 24-hour sale on tickets to Yum Yum Fest. That's coming to the Near East Side later this month. They're matching every dollar spent on donations until noon today to the Sunshine Place. That's the Sun Prairie organization with an emergency food pantry, childcare, and other resources to help people get back on their feet after that explosion last month. Again, that promotion ends today at noon. Yum Yum Fest, by the way, is Saturday, August 19th.
So we are continuing to report on how people in Sun Prairie are doing after the explosion there a few weeks ago. One of the restaurants closest to that explosion is actually reopening this afternoon. We're talking about Salvatore's Tomato Pies. Waited for a while for the gas in the downtown area to be turned back on before it could even start to clean up. Think about reopening. The gas went back on, though, last Friday. The owners were at the Dane County Farmers Market on Saturday, replacing a lot of the food they had to throw out. They will be opening up once again today at 4 o'clock. Concerts on the Square wraps up for the summer later tonight at the Capitol. Organizers are hoping the weather holds out for what could be a record-breaking night. The dairy group Wisconsin Cheese, a bunch of cheese farmers, dairy farmers trying to build the world's largest cheese board there at Concerts on the Square. It's going to measure more than 200 square feet, hold almost 2 tons of cheese. A representative from the Guinness Book of World Records can be on hand to judge the cheese board 5 o'clock this afternoon, verify that record. After that, the first 2,000 people there will get their own cheese board to go. Any leftover cheese will be donated to Second Harvest Food Bank. They're expecting 1,000 pounds to be donated. The current record was set at South by Southwest in Texas. Texas, of all places, earlier this year.
Most exciting news of the day. The grand opening for Madison's new music venue will happen 3 days later than expected next month. The heavy metal band Avenged Sevenfold was supposed to play at the Sylvie on East Washington Avenue at the end of September as the first show of the new building. That concert is canceled, though, because the lead singer got sick. He's actually got a blister on his vocal cords. In fact, the band had to cancel 3 months' worth of shows. Tickets for this show were sold out. The Sylvie says anyone who bought them will be refunded. Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats are now the opening act. That's scheduled for September 27th.
6:24 right now. There's an opportunity for Wisconsin's small business owners to become more cyber savvy. We will share the details of today's top stories here in a couple of minutes,
including the latest from Janesville. That city's looking at adding new housing to try and change up its downtown look. We'll take a look at the new option when News 3 This Morning returns. People on Madison's east side might have contaminated tap water, but the city says they shouldn't be concerned.
Let the games begin. I'm Josh Breder, live outside the Alliant Energy Center this morning. Coming up, more on what it means for Madisonians to host people from all over the world for the 2018 CrossFit Games.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Man, I was kind of hoping to see Josh doing some sprints, maybe,
Rowing
I don't
machine?
know, throwing some weights around. I think you're going to have to go down there and show them what it's about.
Climbing the rope wall?
Yeah, that's your expertise, right?
Maybe not.
Good morning and welcome back to our final half hour of News 3 This Morning. It is 6:30 now on this Wednesday, August 1st.
So the person who does do boot camps that is on this program would be outside right now on her patio. That being Hattie McLean. Good morning, kiddo.
Good morning. Yeah, not doing any heavy lifting on the patio though this morning. The weather forecast is pretty easy early today. We have sunshine this morning and comfortable conditions. Take a live look outside the Edgewater Skycam downtown Madison. The sun is up. Skies are mostly clear here. Enjoy the sunshine this morning. Temperatures 61 here in Madison, Mineral Point. It's 60 in the Dells, only 52 though right now in Camp Douglas. Here's a look at your day planner. We're going to see a quick warm up this morning, already into the 70s by 10 a.m. this morning rather. By lunchtime, closing in on 80 degrees. We'll top right around 81. You will notice an increase in the clouds, and there are some chances for rain later today, mainly through the evening hours. We'll talk more about that coming up in full weather. Let's get you up to date, though, on what's happening traffic-wise across the area. No accidents to report right now, which is great news. Just a few brake lights again on the eastbound Beltline lanes near Stoughton Road. Otherwise, if you are heading into Madison through the construction zone on Verona Road, Highway 151, maybe a little bit slower right now. That's your first alert traffic.
All right, thanks so much, Hattie. There is a precautionary warning for people drinking from their tap on Madison's east side this morning. The city's water utility says it found levels of a household chemical in at least 2 city wells, the highest amount in well 15, right off of East Washington Avenue. Officials think this comes from years ago at the Truex Air Base or maybe some nearby landfills and is just making its way into the water now. Madison's water utility says there's nothing to worry about right now because the levels are so low.
It's 0.03 of a billionth of a part, which doesn't mean that it's not harmful, but it's something that has to build up and up and up in one's body and the water supply for it to be a substantial threat.
Now, that chemical is not regulated by the EPA, and the water utility says the water is still safe to drink here in Madison, but it is still investigating how to make sure those levels don't get any higher. We wanted to let you know about a first alert traffic situation near downtown over the next few days as the CrossFit Games are starting today in Madison. Traffic on the Beltline by John Nolan Drive and Rimrock Road is expected to be bad while the games go on through Sunday. Those two streets in particular near the Alliant Energy Center are expected to have delays. You're probably going to want to find a different road if those are the areas where you travel. Now, Dane County Sheriff's deputies will be in that area helping to direct traffic. Josh Breder made it down there this morning because he has been hit by the CrossFit bug. He's one of 70,000 people checking out the games starting later today over at the Alliant Energy Center. So this event is about more than just beefed up men and women from Iceland and Australia. It's about pumping up our local economy with millions of dollars in spending across Dane County. Josh is outside the CrossFit Games. Show us what all the hype's about. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Lots of excitement here outside of the Alliant Energy Center. We're actually moved to the stadium now, and we've got Deb Archer, the president and CEO of the Madison Area Sports Commission. Deb, good morning to you.
Hey, Josh, good morning.
I can tell you're bright and smiley this morning. A lot of work has gone into this, and everything's looking great around here.
Oh, my gosh. It's my first view of the North Park Stadium, and it's just phenomenal.
So talk a little bit about, this is the second year. What has this meant to have this in Madison?
Well, it has really sort of elevated us in terms of other sports events we could host here. And for the community, it's an incredible economic impact. 70,000 people came through the turnstiles last year to this and spent about $12 million between what CrossFit spent and the visitors spent. And so it's a great economic boost, but it's this sort of moral boost of just incredible energy, people that take care of themselves, they're fit, they're healthy. It's a great message, and I think it really reflects what Madison is all about, too.
And it sounds like there's a little bit for everyone to enjoy here.
Absolutely, because you can get Coliseum tickets and watch team events and individual indoor events, but there are a lot of events that will happen outside, and so you can get festival tickets, come on the grounds, and there are food carts and retail stores, and so it is truly a festival.
And, you know, we've got the flags up behind us, and I think it just goes to show all of the representation from all across the world here.
Absolutely. I think it's 32 countries. I could be wrong, but it's at least 32 countries. And there'll be 560 athletes that'll be competing over the next 4 days and 5 days, and it's incredibly exciting.
So if people are interested, I know it's going to be quite busy around here. You know, what should people know if they're going to head down here?
Well, I think there's some information about traffic flow, but you can get here, you can park here. Thousands of people can come and enjoy the day. Again, festival tickets are on sale. Everything starts today, and there are both individual and team events that are happening today, and then again through Sunday. And it's truly a phenomenon, and I really encourage people to come out. Bring your kids. It's a great family time to come and enjoy the weekend.
All right. Well, Deb, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Again, this all kicks off here today at the Alliant Energy Center. We have everything you need to know on channel3000.com. And Mark and Susan and the gang will be out here for our Live at 4 broadcast tomorrow, so you'll be able to look forward to that. Guys, back to you.
Some pretty interesting stuff going on over there.
Yeah.
All right. Our Josh Sprider reporting live for us this morning. Thanks, Josh.
6:33 right now. There's news out of Rock County this morning where the city of Janesville is looking at a major housing development downtown targeting both millennials and baby boomers. It's taken 4 years to get to this point. The city is still not naming the developer or releasing specifics of what is planned. But the Janesville Gazette's reporting this morning we should learn more details later this month. That's when the City Council and the Janesville Plan Commission meet together to talk about the future of that city's downtown.
It is going to be a bit of a loud afternoon over in Rock County today. Emergency officials are going to be testing their outdoor siren system just after noon. No reason to be alarmed. It's just a test. It should last a couple of minutes. There is an opportunity for small businesses here in Wisconsin to learn more about cybersecurity for free. The Janesville Gazette reports the Wisconsin Small Business Development Network is offering a 1-hour session on cybersecurity. It's going to help link businesses to more resources and tips to keep their online work a little more protected. You can access a resource guide and sign up over at smallbusinessbigthreat.com/Wisconsin. 6:34 your time now. There is an amazing story out of Mexico this morning where a plane crashed, started on fire, but everyone on board is okay. We'll have the latest in the morning sprint.
And it should be a fun night at Camp Randall tonight. No matter Hattie's forecast, his families get to meet their favorite Badger football players. We'll share the details when News 3 This Morning returns. Welcome back to the program. 6:38 right now on this Wednesday morning. It is 61 degrees out and beautiful. It's the time of the morning we always ask you to share a little bit of what's going on in your world with us. And I've been picking flower pictures all week. I've been on a flower kick. Linda posted this. I'm guessing from, on our Facebook page, I'm guessing from her home in Endeavor. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing, Linda. We appreciate it.
Good space to have a cup of coffee, maybe watch a little bit of News 3 this morning. What does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it on our Facebook page or on Twitter, and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. I just did with a picture of all that cheese. We're going to share our favorites right here on News 3 this morning.
So tonight's the chance to have your 3-foot-tall 4-year-old get his or her picture with a 6'7", 320-pound college lineman. Then go ahead and post it and call it My News 3 Morning or My News 3 Evening, because it's going to be Badger football family fun night at Camp Randall Stadium today. From 6 to 8, fans are going to be able to get autographs and pictures with the Wisconsin players and coaches. American Family Insurance is giving out a free team poster to everybody who shows up. This is a lot of fun. We took our kids there, not last year, but the year before. The team starts fall practice tomorrow. First game is set for Friday, August 31st.
There is a clinic coming up next week to help all student athletes get on the field this fall, even if they don't have health insurance. Wisconsin's Athletic Association requires all students to have a physical before they can practice. UW Health is offering a free clinic for any uninsured athletes to get that test. It's happening next Tuesday from 6 until 9 at the Access Community Health Center over on Park Street. Parents do have to be there to sign off on any immunization tests. You can find all of those details over on our website, channel3000.com. Almost 6:40 right now. Should be decent weather to get outside, maybe for a little jog this morning. Check out CrossFit over at the Alliant Energy Center. Catch some sun before you head off to work, because we might see some storms by the time you get off this afternoon. Up next, Hattie's sharing your first alert forecast.
But first, it is August 1st. We want to say happy birthday to Jolie and Brisa and all the other kids turning 3 today. Thanks for letting us help you celebrate right here on News 3 This Morning. Taking a live look outside right now from the Edgewater Sky Cam. Nice morning on the lake. Should be a pretty nice day overall. 2 changes coming though over the next couple of days. Hattie's forecast is coming up in a minute or so. But first, City of Milwaukee could soon start impounding electric scooters that people have been riding there and renting over the past month. Alders there decided not to ban the scooters, even though city officials say state law actually makes them illegal. But they did approve an ordinance that would allow the city to take any scooters that are parked on sidewalks. A company called Bird Rides Incorporated is the one renting out the scooters. That company would be fined $100 every time one of those is impounded. Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett still needs to sign that proposal for it to go into effect.
There is a first-of-its-kind race coming to Janesville this weekend that takes advantage of some of the beautiful trails we have in our area. The Janesville Gazette reports the inaugural Arbor Ridge Trail Race is happening this Saturday. Around 200 people are already signed up, and you can too. You'll get to take a ride along part of the Ice Age Trail and through the Robert Cook Memorial Arboretum in that city. There are a couple of different routes for you to choose from. Registration opens at 6:30 Saturday morning. The race kicks off at 8. Should be a bit of a toasty weekend for a trail race, Hattie.
Yeah, good thing that race is starting early. It is going to heat up around here for the weekend. Today, though, we continue with temperatures in the low 80s. Sun is up. Skies are mostly clear here across Madison. This is a live look to the east from the WISC-TV sky cam. Take a look at the radar map, though, and while things are quiet around here, generally in southern Wisconsin, we are watching some showers and isolated thunderstorms to the north and west. These showers and thunderstorms are out ahead of a cold front that will be moving through the area a little bit later on today. Elsewhere across the region, though, relatively quiet. This front is really the only weather system in the area. As far as severe weather chances, there is a marginal risk for severe weather across most of the state today. Main threats will be large hail and damaging winds, but that risk is pretty low for us today. No flight delays at any of the major airports across the region. Well, now some delays showing up in D.C. this morning, so if you are headed in that direction, be aware of those delays right now. The forecast does call for some rain and hot temperatures in Washington, D.C. In fact, rain up and down the eastern seaboard today. That may continue to slow some flights there. As you head west, the forecast dries out. Sunshine all the way to the west coast throughout the day today. Here's a look at our closer view for the Midwest section of the country. There's the potential for some rain in Chicago, but it looks like St. Louis and Omaha will stay dry. Here's that cold front I was telling you about. Again, just moving into northwestern Wisconsin this morning. A rather slow moving front through the day today. So for us, that means mainly dry conditions, even into the afternoon. There's an isolated chance for a few showers to pop up out ahead of that front today. Best chances for rain, though, will be as that front passes this evening or right around midnight tonight. It will be passing, though, on a non-favorable time of the day for severe weather. So there is a chance that those storms will be weakening as they move into southern Wisconsin. Plenty of cloud cover lingering behind this system on Thursday with a few isolated showers possible. Overall, though, a warming trend as we head into the upcoming weekend with this warm front moving across the plains. Here's a look at our current temperatures. 60s through Iowa, in fact, close to 70 this morning in Minneapolis. Here in southern Wisconsin, we generally have low 60s on the map. 60 in the Dells, 61 here in Madison, 63 in Mineral Point. Our dew point trend today is going to stay in the low 60s, so you may notice the humidity a little bit, but not terribly high. Future Track will show you a closer view if you want to time out those rain chances today. Slight chance this afternoon, but again, that front moving through later today brings a better chance, especially north and west of Madison. Watch how that rain falls apart as it moves into south-central Wisconsin. Your extended forecast will be a little cooler tomorrow, though, with some clouds around. 72 for the high. We're back into the 80s, though, on Friday, and then close to 90 for the weekend. Heat index values, though, will be in the 90s for the afternoon, both Saturday, Sunday, and even into Monday. Here's our Pet Walk forecast.
Oh, buddies!
It's harvest time in the garden. Coop and Gus helping out in Baraboo.
Boy, I don't
how much
know.
help,
I
but
was going to say, nice loose description of help.
Oh,
they are cute, though.
Yes.
they are. Thanks, Hattie.
You're welcome.
Morning Sprint's coming up next here on News 3 this morning.
It is 6:50, time for the morning sprint now. Hattie is keeping an eye out for storms this afternoon, but it should be a pretty nice morning. And Christina Laurie is sharing tips from DATCAP ahead of today's sales tax holiday.
Josh Spreiter's talking about the Fittest on Earth competition starting today at the Alliant Energy Center, but we start in DeForest, where the police chief is rejecting a six-figure severance package after a video of him saying racist comments was posted on YouTube 11 years after it was taped. State Journal reports this morning DeForest Police Chief Daniel Furseth wants to stay working for the village like he has over the last 3 decades almost. Next week, though, the village board will decide whether to file a complaint against Furseth with the police commission, which could lead to him losing his job.
This morning will mark day 3 in the trial of a Middleton man accused of murdering his elderly landlord. 54-year-old John Hammond is accused of killing 82-year-old Agnes Bram by hitting her over the head back in April of 2017. Hammond is facing a charge of first-degree intentional homicide. That trial should take all week.
Wisconsinites can now track sex crimes by county. In a new database set up by the Department of Justice, people can see the number and rate of offenses, where they live, whether weapons were used, the demographics of both the victims and offenders, as well as whether they knew one another or how they knew each other. That data includes sex crimes from the years 2013 through 2017.
In Mexico, all 103 passengers and crew on board an Aeromexico flight are alive this morning after a plane crashed into a field and caught fire overnight. Officials say the plane flew into a storm shortly after it took off from the airport in Mexico City. The pilot and one other person are still in the hospital for serious injuries, but they are expected to be okay.
And our forecast for today starts with dry weather and sunshine. Temperatures will warm quickly this morning through the 60s and 70s into the low 80s this afternoon. There is a chance for some showers and thunderstorms here later on today, mainly during the evening hours. Not a guarantee, though, for any one spot to see that rain. And that's your First Alert forecast.
Thank you very much, Hattie. Dozens of American soldiers killed in the Korean War are coming home today. The North Koreans returned 55 cases holding their remains this morning. There was an official send-off at South Korea's Osan Air Base as the fallen service members' bodies will be sent to a military laboratory in Hawaii for identification. There are 84 Wisconsin men still listed as missing in action from the Korean War 60 years ago.
In business news, Apple is getting closer to becoming the first trillion-dollar company in history. The world's richest company is right around 7% away from that goal after releasing its quarterly earnings report, showing a 40% increase from just last year. Apple's positive economic news comes after 2 other tech giants, Facebook and Twitter, lost 20% each in value after disappointing quarterly reports last week.
Today's this day, a start of a 5-day sales tax holiday here in Wisconsin where parents can buy school supplies sales tax free. There are some restrictions, though. For example, any piece of clothing or back-to-school item needs to cost less than $75 each, and computers have to cost less than $750. That sales tax holiday runs through Sunday.
And as you look to save big this weekend, the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection is helping to make sure you get the right items at the right prices. Some shopping tips from DATCAP: review ads for restrictions on quantities, sale hours, returns, and rain checks. DATCAP says sales typically apply to specific items and model numbers, so make sure to review the information on a product's packaging to avoid any surprises you might find at checkout. Most pricing errors happen on sale items. Write down prices and information about special sales while you shop to have a better sense of the final total before you check out.
All right, thanks, Christina. There is a new plan in place over at the Madison School District this morning to help more students of color succeed. This week, the district shared its progress on graduation rates, elementary reading, and a higher average GPA. Now the district wants to focus on helping more black students succeed in school. Superintendent Jen Cheatham says she wants to partner with families and community members to help break down barriers.
The Wisconsin State Patrol is launching a new statewide TV commercial today designed to cut down on distracted driving. The commercial was made by some Wisconsin middle school students. In Dane County alone, there have been more than 10,000 distracted driving crashes over the last 5 years. State data shows those kinds of crashes among teenagers go up by 18% over the summer months.
There is a precautionary warning for people drinking from their tap on Madison's east side this morning. Madison's water utility found levels of a household chemical in at least 2 city wells, the highest amount in well 15 right off of East Washington Avenue. Officials think it comes from years ago at the Truex Air Base or maybe nearby landfills and is just making its way into the water now. Madison's water utility says there's nothing to worry about at this point because the levels are so low, but it's still investigating. And my favorite story of the day, the dairy group Wisconsin Cheese is trying to build the world's largest cheese board over at the last Concerts on the Square tonight at the Capitol.
So somebody from the Guinness Book of World Records is going to be there on hand to judge the cheese board, verify that record. After that, the first 2,000 people there will get their own cheese board to go. Any leftover cheese, expected to be about 1,000 pounds, will be donated to the Second Harvest Food Bank.
More than 70,000 people are expected to attend the 2018 CrossFit Games beginning today here at the Alliant Energy Center. The event should generate millions of dollars for the local economy, with organizers saying people spent $12 million here during the CrossFit Games last year. CrossFitters from all over the world are in Madison this week for the 2018 CrossFit Games. Traffic on the Beltline by John Nolan Drive and Rimrock Road is expected to be bad while the games go on through Sunday. Those two streets near the Alliant Energy Center will have delays as well. Dane County Sheriff's deputies will be in the area helping direct traffic. You can find everything you need to know, including ticket information, right now at channel3000.com.
Thank you, Josh. It is 6:56 right now. Speaking of traffic, let's check in on our first alert traffic with Josh Tim this morning. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. Continuing to pick up on the westbound side of the Beltline. Some brake lights beginning to show up between Stoughton Road and Monona Drive. CrossFit Games start today, so there will be lots of extra traffic on John Nolan, as we talked about. So far, though, it's not looking too bad. Just a few slowdowns showing up near the Olin Avenue intersection. Other main routes leading into the city right now are cruising along at the posted speeds with no major crashes or delays here in the Madison area. With your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you so much, Josh.
And the view outside is pretty darn nice this morning. We're starting with sunny skies across southern Wisconsin. There will be a chance for rain later on today, probably most likely through the evening hours, and especially northwest of Madison. Otherwise, look for partly sunny skies with highs in the low 80s this afternoon.
My daughter's camping up at Devil's Lake. Is she going to get rained on?
She might get wet,
All right.
but doesn't look too bad. No severe weather expected.
That's good to know. All right, thanks, Heather.
Hopefully a dry evening here in Madison for that world record cheese board that's coming to the Capitol Square. You're going to see me there. Hope to see you there too. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.